Hi guys, happy afternoon. Fingers crossed that this goes well. I've got one kid napping, I've got one kid eating. So yeah, I'm gonna give it just a few seconds and then we're gonna get started because this is a topic that has been floating around in my head. Sister, please. What did Mama say? Thank you. This is a topic that... One moment. Love bug. Do you remember what Mom said about needing to do a training for her team without interruptions? I super love you. Mom needs to be able to get through this, and then we'll be able to do our next thing. Deal?
And TV first. So you have to work first, and then you
Yes. Sorry, guys. Negotiating with a 3-year-old currently. Okay. So, hey. All right, I'm going to get started because it's been over a minute. So this topic is really, really important to me, and it's been floating around my head for a long time. And truly, it's not been floating around my head because I see other people not maintaining. It's been floating around my head. Are you okay? For my own personal issues, okay? So I'm going to give a little story because we all know I love stories, and I'm going to talk about it. And then I'm going to tie that in to how this applies to you and your business, okay? Because guess what? There are a lot of people on Team Courage who've promoted to pink, who've promoted to blue, who've promoted to green, and haven't maintained those color statuses, okay? Like, I'm just real talk that most people who've promoted to pink and blue and green on this team have not maintained that color status. They haven't. And, this isn't going to be like a lecture or a make you feel bad about it situation, but there's something that happens when we don't maintain our color status that we sometimes do to ourselves, and it holds us back from getting to the point where we can maintain it, okay? So hear me out. It's going to start with the story, what prompted all this, and then we're going to tie it back to how this applies to you and your business. So a little bit of backstory. As I have built my business starting back in July 2014, once I realized that I could do this and I could make really good money doing it and that like I enjoyed doing it, I thought like a Black status presenter. I thought, okay, what would a Black status presenter do? And I acted and ran my business like a Black status presenter. You know, that was my aim. That was my goal, was what would a Black status presenter do? You know, and we teach and we preach, think of what you want to do and what you act, you know, fake it till you make it, right? Act like the status you want to be. And we talk about that. So I built my business from, you know, yellow to pink to blue to green to orange to purple, all the way right up to Black, thinking like what I presumed a Black status presenter would think and acting like what I presumed a Black status presenter would act like and making decisions that way and training my team that way and all of these sorts of things. I put a lot of effort and weight and respect into what I saw a Black status presenter as, what I believed they would do, how I believed they would do it. And I worked hard in that way. You follow me? I longed to be Black status, sis. I love you. Please no. I longed to be Black status. Like, I was super excited. I wanted the honor. I wanted the you get a Black diamond charm. I was so pumped for Black status. My kid is seriously making noises just because she knows I'm doing this. The perils of no more nap time, you guys. So it was the goal, right? It was the end goal, end all be all goal. Do you follow me? And so I worked and I worked and I worked and I built and I showed up every month and I coached my team members. September, I've mentioned it before, but September I spent something like between 30 and 36 hours total in September on coaching calls with people. I invested a lot of time and energy in talking to people and working with people and doing all these different things and getting to the point where because I was chasing down Black status. Okay, I was chasing down Black status. And then November came. And I hit Black status. I hit Black status, you guys. This goal, this huge goal, this huge color rank that I had been working towards for 16 months, I achieved it, okay? And up until that point, I had never not maintained my rank ever. Once I hit a rank, I maintained it every month because I was just constantly showing up, right? So I had never not maintained my rank. And so I hit black, okay? And something weird happened, all right? Something very, very weird happened. I hit black, and then I almost disowned black, all right? Hear me out. I hit black status and I suddenly felt really weird. I felt like it wasn't my own, because to hit black status, guys, there are so many factors that go into achieving black status that you have very little control over, okay? You've got to have your company sales of 80,000. You've got to have 4 elites, like elite leaders. It's a big deal to hit green. You've got to have 10,000 in circle sales. So numbers outside of all your elites, you have to have that. There's so many things that go into hitting black status. And so I hit black status, and I suddenly felt really uncomfortable. I felt really uncomfortable owning it. I felt really uncomfortable feeling like I was black status. I felt really uncomfortable recognizing myself as black status. Does that make sense? It was weird. It was a weird thing. My black status, black diamond charm came, and I opened it on Periscope, and it was really great. And guys, it sat in the corner of my kitchen counter in the box for like 2 months. I just left it there on the counter. I didn't even do anything with it. It's like I took zero pride in achieving this massive goal that I spent 16 months working towards. I took almost zero pride in it because I didn't feel ashamed of it, but I felt weird owning it because I felt like it wasn't me. We spend so much time as leaders crediting our team because we don't become successful unless our team becomes successful. So we spend a lot of time crediting our team. And sometimes when we spend all that time crediting our team, we forget to credit ourselves. We forget to take our own ownership of what we've achieved. We forget to take our own ownership of, but I did this. Like, yes, we don't become successful alone, but we also don't become successful without ourselves. And so when I hit black status, I literally I had a hard time accepting that. My black diamond charm sat literally in a box on my countertop in a corner. Every other charm I ever got, I cherished. I would take it, I would put it on my ring, I keep it safe, I keep it in my safe. And some of them, especially in the beginning, I actually wore, like on a necklace, I wore the charm for a little while. I was so proud. Every time I hit pink, every time I hit blue, when I hit green, when I hit orange, when I hit purple, so proud. And yet when I hit black status, that charm sat unopened in a box on my counter for a couple months. And then I went and moved it into my safe, and I didn't do anything with it. And I spent a lot of time downplaying it. I spent a lot of time pushing off my own recognition onto my team, which is fair because you guys deserve it and my leaders deserve it. But I didn't take that recognition for myself. And because I didn't take that recognition for myself, I never felt like a black status presenter. I didn't feel like I belonged as a black status presenter because, it's not really me, it's them. I didn't really have anything to do with that, it's them. Okay? And then guess what? I didn't maintain black. I'm gonna be straight with you guys. I'm not gonna hide this. I have not re-qualified as black status since I hit in November. And do you want to know what that sometimes does to us? We start to feel unworthy. So what already felt unworthy from the month that I hit it kept perpetuating itself as, I'm not really worthy. And so I downplay it. Black status is a huge deal. It is the top rank in this company, and you do not get there easily. You do not get there by just casually showing up every day. You get there through hard work and through hard one-on-one working with people and through teaching and through coaching and through leading and through doing these things. And yet I shrank back from it. Instead of owning what I did and what I accomplished, I chose to shrink back from it and downplay it and talk about, it's not really, it's not. I downplayed it, and I continued to literally just last week, I heard myself talking to somebody, and I heard myself downplaying black status like it was no big deal. Like, and yet no. Because if one of my girls, let's say when Carissa or when Molly or when one of my leaders hits black, if I hear them downplaying black status, I would flip my lid. I'd be like, no, do you know how hard you worked to get there? And so I've been thinking a lot about this. The reason why I'm talking about this is because I've been thinking, like, trying to figure this out lately, because I'm like, why don't I own this? And the more I wasn't requalifying for black, the more and more I distanced myself from feeling, oh, I don't deserve black. I hit it, but I haven't hit it again, so I don't deserve this rank. It's not real. I didn't really earn it. I don't really deserve black status. And he spent a lot of time thinking like that. And the more I thought like it, the more I downplayed it, and the more I downplayed it, and the more I downplayed it. And sometimes we do this because we think we're being humble. We think we're being humble because, that we have some kind of humility because we're not building ourselves up and we're not giving ourselves credit because we don't want to be braggy. And I get that, because the last thing I ever want to be is braggy. But somewhere along the way, we've gotten confused, okay? Because we're confusing humility, okay, with self-deprecation, okay? You can be proud and you can own your accomplishments without tearing yourself down and without downplaying your accomplishments. Owning your accomplishments and being proud of your accomplishments is not being braggy, and it is not being proud, and it is not being, it's not gloating, okay? Self-deprecating and belittling your accomplishments and belittling what you've done, that is not humility. That is not the same thing, okay? And so in all of this, that's what it became, was more and more and more, was more and more not owning my rank. And the more I haven't owned my rank, the more I haven't qualified as my rank, all right? And, there's a few reasons why that's not fair. If I feel like I'm not worthy of black status, you know what that says? If I feel like I'm not worthy of black status, or like I didn't really hit black status, or like it's not real, then that would imply that my green status presenters, my elite status presenters, that they're not worthy of theirs and that they didn't really hit. And that's not fair to them, because they did. They worked their tails off to hit elite status. They worked their tails off to earn that PRS. They worked their tails off to lead their team that month. They earned that fair and square. And so if I'm disowning my status, then that's me basically negating their status, which is not fair, because they earned that rank. And even if they're not maintaining that rank, that does not make them less of that rank. Okay, it does not mean that they did not hit it. Okay, and so all of this has been rolling around in my head, because it's not just me. Amongst black status presenters, this is a common problem. Okay, and so on the black status, on the corporate black status page, what you will see is a lot of the black status presenters who've been a while, every week, one of them comes on there and posts something along the lines of, you belong here. Even if you've only hit this rank one time, even if you've only hit it a couple times, even if you're hitting it but not consistently, you belong here. You did the work, you led your team, you hit this rank, you belong here. Every week, somebody gets on and says that. Okay, which tells me it's not just me. It's a common problem amongst leaders. We tend to disown our rank a lot because we feel not worthy of it, because, oh, I'm not maintaining it. Stop, sis, leave him. And so what does this have to do with you guys? It made me start to think about when we hit pink and when we hit blue and when we hit green and we don't maintain it. If I'm sitting here at the top of the company, okay, if I'm sitting here at the top of the company and feeling like, oh gosh, I hit black status, but maybe I don't really deserve, maybe I'm not really black status, maybe I don't deserve this. If I'm sitting here thinking that about myself and my rank, it makes me think about the pink status presenter who, no baby, I'm not going to tie it around his neck. That's not nice. It makes me think about the pink status presenter who hits pink and is so proud of themselves and then maybe can't maintain it the next month, or the blue status presenter who hits and can't maintain, or the green status presenter who hits and can't maintain. If that's how I'm feeling, I have to assume that it happens to other presenters as well at other ranks, that you hit and then when you don't maintain, you start to think, oh, well, that really wasn't real. I'm a pink status presenter, but not really, because I can't maintain it. And let me tell you what happens when we start to tell ourselves we're not really something. Our mind is everything. It is everything, guys. That is why you hear leaders talk about mindset far more than you hear us talk about anything else. You hear us talk about mindset more than you hear us talk about parties, more than you hear us talk about sales, more than anything. You hear us talk about mindset. Because what we tell ourselves becomes our actions. And so if you're sitting there, if I'm sitting here telling myself, oh, I'm not really black status because I haven't maintained it, or I will start to act in such a way, even if I'm not doing it consciously, my actions will start to line up with that. I will stop acting like a black status presenter. I won't do the things I need to do. So I spent my entire career in this business building up to black status, thinking like a black status presenter, and then I totally separated myself from it and almost disowned it, and started telling myself, oh, I'm not really a black status presenter. That feeling inside that we're not worthy, it starts to dictate our actions. And so if you've hit pink status and haven't maintained it, and if you've hit blue status and haven't maintained it, and if you've hit green status and haven't maintained it, there's a chance you're starting to tell yourself you're not worthy of that rank. And there's a chance that when you're telling yourself, there's a huge chance that when you're telling yourself you're not worthy of whatever that color status is, you've stopped acting like you're that color status. You've stopped feeling like you deserve it. And so you're not doing the things that you need to do to maintain it. Okay? Pink, blue, green, orange, purple, black. You've got a team when you're at those ranks. Okay? And you've got to lead when you're at those ranks. Leadership is everything in this company. It is everything in this company. And when we start to feel like we're not worthy of our rank, that means we start to feel not worthy as a leader. We start to feel like maybe we don't have the wisdom. Maybe we don't know what it takes. Maybe we don't know how to do this well enough. And we stop sharing the value that we have to offer. Okay? We stop sharing the value. And what do I mean by that? Guys, I mean a lot by that. When you're at pink, you should, and if the stipulation for this is if you're at pink and you want to be pink and you want to, some people hit pink and they don't really care about leading. And if you hit pink, you don't really care about leading, you need to tell your upline so your upline can help your team. But anyway, you should be training your team. You should be putting yourself out there. But when we start to tell ourselves we're not worthy of our rank, we literally stop sharing the value we have to add. So for a long time, because I was sitting there feeling not worthy of black status, and yeah, I was doing morning mess, and yeah, those things, I didn't want to put myself out there though, because I'm like, I don't know that I'm really qualified to share anything. I had another black status presenter message me last night, and she asked me if I was doing Facebook Live trainings on other team pages. And I was like, I don't really know that anybody wants to hear what I have to say. I said that, guys. I said those words out loud to her. I was like, I'm a new black. I was like, I've only qualified one time. I don't feel like I have anything of value. And if she didn't come down on me and put me in my place for saying that, she was like, I'm sorry, no. She was like, you hit black status. You know something about this business and you have something valuable to add. She was like, don't berate yourself. And she came down on me. And I don't blame her, because I would come down on anybody who came to me saying that. When you tell yourself that you're not worthy of the status you've earned, when you stop being proud of the status you've earned, you stop showing up for it like you should. Okay, so if you're blue status and you haven't maintained blue status, there's a good chance you've stopped showing up like you used to. And I don't mean that you're not doing anything at all, but I mean you've stopped working with the same passion and enthusiasm and vigor and pride that you had in yourself before. Okay? If you've hit pink status and you're not maintaining it, and especially if you haven't maintained it for several months in a row, there's a good chance you've stopped showing up and working your business with that same pride and energy that you had the month that you hit pink for the first time. When you have earned a rank, you have earned it. You did the work that it took to get there. You did the leadership and leading your team to get there for the most part, okay? You've done the work. You know how to get there and you know how to maintain it. You need to own it and you need to take pride in it. I don't care if it's yellow, pink. I don't care how lowly you think it is. Every rank in this company has a purpose and a point, and you should be proud of it. Okay? All the way right up to the top of the company. And yeah, when you hit the top of the company, a lot of that has to do with your team. A lot of it has to do with having a working team and a team of leaders. But it also has to do with you, because you don't get there without your own drive. You don't get there without your own work. You don't get to these places without doing some work. You have to know how to do it. Take pride in the rank that you have. If you're pink status, I don't care if you haven't maintained it every month. Own that pink status. Show up with that same enthusiasm and belief in yourself as the month you hit it. If you're blue status and you haven't maintained it for months, show up with the same enthusiasm and pride in the fact that you're blue status. You earned that. If you are green status and you're not maintaining it, okay, do not shrink back from the fact that you are considered an elite leader in this company. Do not shrink back from that leadership. Elite especially, okay? You did the right things to get where you are. Just because you're not maintaining it right now does not mean that you did not earn it. You earned it. Show up and act like it, okay? And it might not you might not requalify you that first month, but the more you act like you deserve the rank you have, the more you will qualify for it consistently over and over and promote beyond it. I'm going to repeat that because it's worth saying again. The more you act like the rank you have or the rank you want, the more you will show up and do the things that you need to do to maintain it. And the more you will maintain it and promote beyond it. You have to show up and believe in yourself as whatever rank you've been promoted to. And you have to own it. Do not shrink back from whatever your status is because you feel like you don't deserve it because you haven't maintained it. Yes, you do deserve it. You earned it. Keep showing up for it. Keep showing up and acting like it. Keep showing up and acting like a pink status presenter. Keep showing up and acting like a blue status presenter. And even more, if you want to promote beyond pink and blue and green, show up and act like a black status presenter. Okay? And then when you hit black, do not do as I did and continue acting like a black status presenter. Okay? Continue believing in yourself as a black status presenter. That is how you move forward. Your mind controls everything. If you were telling yourself you were not worthy of that rank that you have, stop, because you are. All right? For months now, so much noise behind me, for months now have not believed in myself as the rank that I have. And in the name of, stop sis, please. If you're going to do that, please go to your room so that you can do it in there. Thank you. Dang it, I lost my train of thought. I have such a hard time talking with a lot of noise around me. Totally lost where I was. Point is, one moment. Numa, stop. Leave it. Stop. Sister, leave the dogs. Don't mess with them. Totally lost it at the end here, guys. The point is, for months, I have continued to devalue and disempower myself as the rank that I am, which is a black status presenter. I might not be qualifying for it every month right now, but dang if I didn't earn it. Because I did. I worked my tail off for 16 months to build Team Courage. I worked my tail off for 16 months to build this team and to teach and to coach and to talk to and to lead. Worked my tail off. And my leaders have worked their tails off to build their teams and to learn how to sell and to learn how to do parties and to keep their mind in the right place to become leaders in this company. And if we all are disowning our rank because we're not qualifying as it all the time, then we've got nothing. All right? Then all of that is for nothing. Do not let your hard work be for nothing. Own it, okay? And one last fun fact, guys. Haley Ragsdale, I just learned this. Haley Ragsdale, who is a wall of influence earner, okay? Woman makes like $1 million a year. Haley Ragsdale, black status presenter, does not consistently hit black status every month. Did you know that? Lots of black status presenters do not consistently hit their status every month. Does that make them less of a black status presenter? No, because there's a lot that goes into being a black status presenter that we don't always have control over. Okay, but if we're all disowning the fact that we're black status and we stop showing up like we need to show up for our teams, like we need to show up and lead, then that's not okay. Then yeah, that's what makes you not a black status presenter, when you're not owning it. When you've earned it, you've earned it, and you do not hit black status by accident. You do not hit black status as a fluke. I'm going to straight up tell you that right now. It takes work, and it takes time, and it takes effort. So if you're pink status, if you're blue status, if you're green status, and you've had trouble maintaining, don't disown your status. Don't tell yourself that you're not worthy of that. Don't tell yourself that, oh, I hit it one time. I'm not really a pink status presenter because of blah, whatever. Yeah, you are. You earned it. You did the work. Just because you're having trouble maintaining it does not mean that that is not what you are. Show up, remind yourself that you are, take pride in the fact you are, and own it. And that does not make you braggy, okay? And don't do it out of humility either. Don't do it in the name of humility, okay? Like I'll be like, oh, I'm a black status presenter. It's no big deal. Like really, that means nothing outside of unique. Okay, but it does because it means I hit the top rank of a company. Okay, so don't be like, oh, I hit pink status, but it's really not a big deal. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Okay, they don't bump up your pay because it's no big deal. Own it. It doesn't make you braggy. The difference, to be humble, means that you're not going around gloating, acting like you're better than everybody else. You can still be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself for what you've earned, even if you're not maintaining it. And then go out and continue acting like it, even if you're not maintaining it. Go out and act like the next rank above you to move forward. And it will come. But you can't tell yourself that you're not worthy of it over and over. Stop telling yourself you're not worthy of it. Me, you know what I did today? Because I've been like, I haven't owned it. You know what I did? You know what I did? Do you see this? This is the black diamond charm that sat in the corner of my kitchen counter because I just suddenly separated myself from being proud of myself, right? I decided today that I am no longer going to shy back from being black status. I decided today that I'm going to be proud of the fact that I earned black status, and whether I'm qualifying for it consistently or not right now, I earned it, and I'm going to earn it again. And I'm going to get to a point where it hits every month. And just because I hit it one time and I haven't maintained it does not mean this is not a black status team. This is just as much a black status team now as it was in November. You want to know how I know? Guys, we're pulling almost $150,000 in company sales every month. We've got leaders who are coming up. We've got people who've hit leadership who are working to get back there. Okay, we are a black status team. So show up and be freaking proud of your pink status team, even if you're not maintaining it. Be proud of your blue status team, your green status team, and keep showing up and reminding yourself that you earned that and that you are that and that you can move beyond that and you'll get there. This is a marathon, not a sprint. We all get back to where we need to be eventually. Even if we miss a month, even if we miss a couple months, we get back there, okay? Because we have to believe in ourselves. Don't disempower yourself. That's what I want to say. Don't disempower yourself by telling yourself you're not worthy of that because you're not requalifying it. So yeah, that's what I got, guys. Sorry I got rambly. Sorry, it's hard I seriously am one of those people that I cannot have like outside distractions or it's like, nah. So I hope it made sense. I hope you followed along. I hope it helps because I can't count how many times I've heard, not just in my own head, but from others. Well, I hit it, but I'm not really hitting it. So I don't really feel like I'm a blue status presenter because I only hit pink every month. No, you're a blue status presenter. You earned it. Own it. Show up and act like it. That's what I got. Okay. Happy Wednesday. Rocking my black status charm. No longer shying away from what I rightfully earned. And you shouldn't either. Don't shy away from what you've rightfully earned. Okay. Bye.